And had us all thinking Triple Crown. It didn't happen, but it's not the end of the story. Ever wonder what happened to that horse, Funny Side? You remember the one that won the Kentucky Derby.
Gutsy Gelding Funny Side has won the 129th Kentucky Derby.
He was owned by those guys from that little town in upstate New York. 6 high school friends who were just out to have some fun.
He's won the Preakness last 10 weeks, and he's heading back to Belmont for a date with Triple Crown Destiny.
Sackett's Harbor will never be normal again. Funny Side fever is still going on here all the time.
People are still talking to me about Funny Side every day.
This is what it's all about. The kids are always asking when Funny Side's going to run again.
Whatever happened to that horse? What's he up to now? 2 weeks ago, Funny Side wasn't going to run in the Breeders' Cup. After a summer of sickness and missed training, it appeared as if he would miss his chance at another day in the spotlight. But sometimes things are meant to be. And after a series of good workouts, trainer Barclay Tagg changed his mind. Funny Side is back on the track. Back as the underdog. A position that suits him and his owners perfectly well.
Mr. Funny Side.
Mr. Funny Side. Get out. Nectar of the gods.
That's good to have him back, isn't it? Funny Side is back, but boy, does he have his work cut out for him today. Facing older horses for the first time, shipping cross-country, long layoff, and new jockey, Julie Crone, rides today. Jose Santos was already committed to Volpone before they knew Funny Side was going to run. So, the Breeders' Cup Classic, $4 million purse. There are the Saratoga stable gang as we look at the odds for the Classic. Evening Attire 25-1, Pleasantly Perfect 16, Volpone last year's winner 14, Funny Side at 9-2, Hold That Tiger 8-1, Dynaver 12-1, Perfect Drift at 6, Medaglia d'Oro 4-1, Congaree at 7, 10 Most Wanted is the 3-1 favorite. Julie Crone rides Funny Side. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships are brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By Bessemer Trust, enhancing private wealth for generations. By John Deere, nothing runs like a deer. And by NetJets, leave nothing to chance.
Bob Costas here as we welcome you back to Santa Anita. And so, perhaps the big story to this point, High Chaparral and Johar dead heating in the Breeders' Cup turf. This is the 20th year of the Breeders' Cup. There have been 144 total races run, and this is the first time that we've seen a dead heat. One remains. That's the Breeders' Cup Classic, and let's return to Tom.
All right, Bob, as we look in the paddock here at Santa Anita, where Funny Side will be the sentimental choice of many and to be ridden by Julie Crone for the first time. And there is a look at Funny Side. For a long time, they were unsure that they would run, thinking of running in the Discovery Handicap at Belmont, perhaps, but at the last minute, Barclay Tagg changed his mind and sent Funny Side west. First time he's crossed the country to run. And there is Barclay Tagg, the trainer of Funny Side. You remember the magic of his Triple Crown campaign and trying to recapture that magic today. That's Hold That Tiger. Hold That Tiger, trained by Aidan O'Brien. As Julie Crone in the Saratoga stable colors. That's an odd sight, isn't it, Charlie, to see someone other than Jose Santos wearing the colors of the old Saratoga or Sackett's Harbor High School colors, the gray and burgundy.
It is indeed, but Jose Santos, of course, is aboard Volpone, the defending champion from last year's Breeders' Cup Classic, and there he is. He has not won a race since that time, but is looking very well. He seems to be training well. He hasn't run badly. He just hasn't won, and he's being held at 14-1.
And the jockeys all making their way out. Let's see if we can hear what's going on.
He'll get up there and he'll do it just in perfect rhythm himself. If things are going right for him. Now that's real crowded or something. Usually he just works his way up there. In the first 100 yards, he's usually up in the 3rd place, but he doesn't. He's not spurting up there like crazy.
I've seen him play 3 times.
Well, a little bit of eavesdropping on Barclay Tagg's conversation with Julie Crone, riding for the first time funny side. And in the colors of, there's Santos stopping by. Santos rides Vol Pony. I don't think Julie even acknowledged. Funny side's mine now, San Jose. Vol Pony, 14-1 defending champion, but as Charles said, has not won a race since the Classic at Arlington last year.
Interesting, Barclay Tagg was saying to Julie, let him go on up there, because that was the criticism in the Belmont Stakes, that Santos held him back too much, did not let him run early on, tried to strangle him and slow him down.
And today they're running at the Derby distance, 1.25 miles, which Funny Side handled to win the Roses at Churchill Downs, as Santos gets a leg up on Vol Pony, and Barclay Tagg puts Julie Tagg aboard Funny Side. There, Julie got him married there for a moment. No, Julie Crone is married to Jay Hubby. I don't think he'd like that. Julie Crone and Funny Side headed for the track in the Classic. At Santa Anita, the horses are on the track for the Breeders' Cup Classic, powered by Dodge. $4 million purse, and they'll be going 1.25 miles, 3-year-olds and up. And number 1, the Great Horse's Evening Attire, who was 4th in the Classic last year. He has only a couple of allowance wins this campaign, though. John Velasquez rides him for the first time. Number 2, Pleasantly Perfect. Last year he won the Goodwood Breeders' Cup Handicap, but bled in that race, and by Illinois rules was not allowed to run in the Breeders' Cup. This year, off a 200-day layoff, he again won the Goodwood and now gets his chance at the Cup. Number 3, Vol Pony, last year's winner at 43-1, trained by Hall of Famer Phil Johnson. Hasn't won since last year's Classic, but he has been in the money in all 6 starts this year. Number 4 is Funny Side, facing older horses for the first time. A long layoff, a long ship, a new jockey. It may all be too much to overcome today, but we should be hearing from the New York bred gelding for the next couple of years. Number 5, Hold That Tiger. He impressed everyone, overcoming trouble to finish 3rd in the juvenile last year. This year, winless in 4 starts in England. Most recently, a 2nd to Mineshaft in the Woodward at Belmont. Number 6 is Dynaver, a 3-year-old colt who has not run since the Lone Star Derby in May. He ran 4th in the Belmont Stakes. Number 7 is Perfect Drift, named for a fly fishing technique owned by Dr. William Reed, a Kansas City heart surgeon. Trainer Murray Johnson has promised his teenage daughters a new refrigerator with Breeders' Cup money. Perfect Drift unbeaten on dirt this year and a winner over Mineshaft. Number 8, Medaglia d'Oro, which means gold medal in Italian and is a brand of Italian espresso. Bobby Frankel trained, versatile winner of 3 races in 4 starts this year, including the Whitney Handicap at Saratoga. Number 9, Congaree, named for the river, which runs by the University of South Carolina campus, where Robert McNair was student body president. McNair also owns the NFL Houston Texans. Congaree has speed. He's won 4 times this year, including the 1.25 mile Hollywood Gold Cup and 4 of 5 at Santa Anita. Running today with a patch on a quarter crack on his left hind hoof. 10 horse you see is 10 Most Wanted, candidate for 3-year-old champion with Funny Side and the retired Empire Maker after a disappointing 9th in the Derby, 2nd in the Belmont, and then blossomed late, winning the Travers and the Super Derby. That's the field for the $4 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And one final time, one last chance, guys, Bob and Mike, for the handicapping.
It's my last shot, Newmy.
This is how bad it is. I've had 1 winner, Mike's none, and we lost the match race to you know who.
Oh, come on. You know what?
$400 American dollars.
You know
Suleimani against Storming Home.
Look at him. 5th, I wouldn't even take the money. I wouldn't even take the money. I wouldn't even take the money, Newmy. Who do you like here?
Bob's picking it up and
Costas made out like a bandit.
Congaree is the pick here.
You guys back at the track.
It's the first bet Costas ever cashed.
Yeah, that's right.
Congaree's the pick here for me. I like the price, and I like the fact that he loves Santa Anita. Hey, 4 for 5 at this racetrack. A lot of natural speed. Set up outside Medaglia d'Oro can play off him. Yeah, he's had a bit of a foot problem, but I don't think it's a big issue. I like him today with Bob Baffert. I think he's a square price, Mike, at 6-1.
You know, I don't know how you follow Mutton Chops and Costas picking up money, but I'm going to try for Medaglia d'Oro. I'm going to keep picking Frankel until he gets it right, or until I get it right. 2 for 2 at Santa Anita. Frankel, has it been his day? No, not so far, but he could turn it around with a win in the Classic. I think Bailey's got to get Medaglia d'Oro to relax just off the pace, and I'm going to give him a slight edge. I think Perfect Drift is the one to beat. I love this horse. This is the real deal. If he handles this track, he's going to be very, very dangerous.
And the other horse, Mike, that's getting a lot of play is 10 Most Wanted, the 3-year-old. Remember him in the Derby, ran big in the Travers with Pat Day, who always does well in this Classic.
Definitely.
And there is 10 Most Wanted. He has a nice style for this race. If you think that Congaree and Medaglia d'Oro and Funny Side will make the pace, he should sit a good trip behind the pair. Evening Attire wants to come from way back. And Volpone, well, he's had a tough year. Tom, back to you.
All right, Bob, and the fans still love Funny Side. They don't care about all those technicalities. They love him. 25% think he will win the Classic over his 3-year-old rival, 10 Most Wanted. We'll find out shortly. Post time approaches for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Let's give you an update on the odds in this $4 million race. Evening Attire 25-1, Pleasantly Perfect at 14, Volpone 16-1, the defending champion. Funny Side up to 7-1 now. Hold That Tiger 8, Dynaver 14. Perfect Drift 5-1, Medaglia d'Oro 3-1, Congaree 6-1, and 10 Most Wanted at 7-2. And don't forget, Pleasantly Perfect, trained by Dick Mandela, who already has 3 Breeders' Cup winners today, equaling the record set by Wayne Lucas back in 1988.
Well, he has the Mandela factor going for him, and also we're talking about 1.25 miles here. So let's look at horses who are rock solid at 1.25 miles. Pleasantly Perfect is by Pleasant Colony. There should be no question of his endurance. And Dick Mandela has shown extreme patience with this horse. He's had a number of minor problems that have kept him down to running only 12 times, and he's a 4-year-old, but he's got him at absolute tip-top shape now. The other horse in the field who should be rock solid at 1.25 miles is Hold That Tiger. And we've seen how well Aidan O'Brien has been going today. Hold That Tiger ran well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year. He shipped over to run second to Mineshaft. And Aidan O'Brien has admitted that he was making a mistake with this horse throughout the early part of this year. He wasn't training him the way he should have been trained. Feels like he has him at his best now, and he's handled the heat and the shipping over here to America very well this week, and should run a pretty big race, Tom.
Mineshaft, of course, the leader in the clubhouse for Horse of the Year, but retired, not racing today. Funny Side is hoping for the 3-year-old championship, vying with 10 Most Wanted and the retired Empire Maker. And Perfect Drift, as you see the Sakatoga stable guys, Funny Side's owners. Perfect Drift has a chance for Horse of the Year. If he should win the Classic today, there he is, number 7. Making his case for Horse of the Year if he wins today's Breeders' Cup Classic.
Perfect Drift is certainly another horse who wants to go 1.25 miles for sure.
Dynaver into the gate. There's a look at Pleasantly Perfect. Breeders' Cup Classic powered by Dodge, $4 million purse, and they'll go 1.25 miles here at Santa Anita. And Pleasantly Perfect looked a little hot, a little washy as he went into the gate. So too is Perfect Drift, but you understand with this heat. So the Classic. Tom Durkin ready for the call. Tom?
And the defending champion has just taken his spot in post position number 3, Volpone. There's Gary Stevens aboard Perfect Drift, who with the victory here, one would think, would earn Perfect Drift the honor of Horse of the Year. And there is Julie Crone looking for her 2nd Breeders' Cup win of the day in her career. Congaree and Pat Valenzuela. And there goes Hold That Tiger, the Irish entrant in this 20th Classic field. And the final one, stretch running, 10 Most Wanted. They're in the gate. And they're off in the 20th Breeders' Cup Classic. And shuffled back there, Medaglia d'Oro got pitched back at the start. As it appeared, Congaree came in just a bit. Funny Side and Hold That Tiger. And Medaglia d'Oro coming on now and he's looking for the lead, and Congaree's moving right with him, and they move right by Hold That Tiger. So it's Medaglia d'Oro and Congaree, and they're going at it head-to-head in the opening stages here. Hold That Tiger runs in 3rd, and Perfect Drift is 4th. Funny Side very eager, and he tugs his way 5th to an opening quarter of 22 and 3/5 seconds. Pat Day has 10 Most Wanted in the cloud. Oh, Funny Side went wide. He took Perfect Drift right with him, and 10 Most Wanted really got on track. In the meantime, Valponi benefited from that, and he saved ground all the way. Valponi is now 5th, and Funnyside continues very eagerly on the outside. Perfect Drift is 6th, and Pat Day has now taken the leggy 10 most wanted to the inside. He's 7th. Then Pleasantly Perfect, followed by Dynever, and the trailer is evening attire. The opening half mile was testing 46 1/5 seconds, and Congaree is the leader now with 5 furlongs to go. Medaglia d'Oro right there, sticking with him on the inside. Hold That Tiger now runs in 3rd. Valponi is 4th on the inside, about 5 lengths from the lead. Funnyside on the outside, and Perfect Drift is launching a bit at the half-mile pole. He has split Funnyside and Valponi and moves to 4th. Pleasantly Perfect getting in gear. 10 most wanted still near the back of the pack. Dynever now starting to launch his bid, but he's a long way from the runners, and evening attire trails the field. Around the far turn, 2.5 furlongs, and Congaree still holds that lead. Medaglia d'Oro on the inside, fights with him. Hold That Tiger just in behind. Pleasantly Perfect rolls up on the outside from 4th. Then it's Dynever now running in 5th. Perfect Drift 6th toward the inside. Congaree, Medaglia d'Oro in a pitched battle here in the Classic. Heads apart for the lead, and Pleasantly Perfect trying to mow them down with 100 yards to go. Then Dynever on the outside, and they're coming down to the finish, and it is Pleasantly Perfect. Man, oh man, what a day! Pleasantly Perfect wins by 2. Medaglia d'Oro, Dynever, and Congaree. What a day for trainer Richard Mandela. Was it 3.5 or was it 4 he won this afternoon? The final time was 1 minute 59 and 4/5 seconds. A patient ride there by Alex Solis aboard the 20th Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Pleasantly Perfect.
A record-setting day for Richard Mandela. His 4th winner of the afternoon. Half of the races he trained the winner. They came to his home turf at Santa Anita, and boy, he showed them what it was like. Pleasantly Perfect denied his chance to run in the Classic last year because he had bled here at Santa Anita. Illinois rules said he couldn't run. He stayed on the sidelines, comes off an over 200-day layoff to win the Goodwood, and then bounces back to take the Classic. Donna?
Alex, first of all, congratulations, and I apologize for the last race. I got bad information. So congratulations on both of them. Tell me about this ride, though.
Well, before anything, I just want to dedicate this race to a super rider, a super person, Mr. Bill Shoemaker, wherever you are, buddy. It was an incredible race. He really broke really sharp. I had him in the beat, and he was relaxed. And every time I move my hand on him, he get ready. He was ready, you know. And going into the far turn, I was following Gary Stevens and Perfect Drift, and I got to the quarter pole. I had so much horse, and I know the other 2 horses were heading in most of the way, so I thought they would tire me. That's when he came through in the end.
Alex, this horse won the Goodwood, the prep for this race off of a 7-month layoff, and I talked to you after that race. You said it would set him up perfect for this race today. You were right.
Well, I tell you, I had to give so much credit to Mr. Richard Mandela. I was so excited for the last 3 weeks when we've been working this horse as trainer, and they've been training out of this world, all of his horses. You know, Minister Eric, him, Johar, and I said, boss, I think that they're ready. He's done a terrific job.
Alex, you mentioned Shoemaker, but I know that one of your mentors has always been Lafitte Pinkai, and this is one of the first Breeders' Cups you've ridden without him in the jocks room with you. How's that feel?
Ese Pati Viejo es incredible. I mean, you know, it's such a great feeling, you know, to get all this reward after working so hard. And thanks to Lafitte, Fernando Toro, De La Juse, and my current guys that helped me throughout my career, I am where I am right now.
All right, I hate to translate this message, but he said to Lafitte, thanks, old man.
Thanks, Papa.
Thanks, Papa, is what he said, actually. Congratulations, Alex. God, Tom, I think Richard Mandela's going to try to get the Breeders' Cup here every year.
I guess so. And to me, Donna, this is one of the finest training jobs in the Breeders' Cup history, to have a horse off that layoff come back, win the Goodwood, and then in his second start off the layoff to take the Classic. So hats off to Dick Mandela and his team, including groom Umberto Carrera. And in fact, only one of Mandela's 4 winners today, half bridled, was the favorite. Action this day, 25-1. Johar 14-1 with the dead heat. Pleasantly Perfect 14-1. This was a brilliant job. And so Pleasantly Perfect takes the $4 million Breeders' Cup Classic. Pleasantly Perfect, Alex Solis just dismounting after a victory in the $4 million Breeders' Cup Classic. And another long shot hits the finish line first. Pleasantly Perfect paying $30.40. Medaglia d'Oro second, and Dynaver running third. The exacta $70 for a $1 ticket. And Trevor Denman, impressive performance by Pleasantly Perfect, but the race a little rough, especially early.
Oh, it had its moments, that's for sure, Tom. Right at the break, you saw Congaree shift in onto Medaglia d'Oro, and those horses break from the 8 and the 9 hole, and you'll see Congaree drift in just a little bit. This is Congaree right here, and see, breaks now. He's going to come over just a little right there. He's got Medaglia in a little tight, not a heavy bump, but just a little brush. It can't put a horse off stride, though. Medaglia d'Oro recovers nicely, though, and then into this first turn, you see the horse going really wide out here was Funny Side. We're going to take a look at that right now. Medaglia d'Oro on the rail. Congaree has the white cap, and we're going to see Funny Side now just float a couple of horses wide here as they go into the 7/8 turn. And right in here you can see Funny Side with a red cap, going to push the horse in the blue on the outside. Perfect drift wide there as Julie Crone had a little bit of difficulty getting him to relax and almost climbed on horse's heels. And let's take a look at that stretch run now. What a thriller. They went extremely fast, and Congaree and Medaglia d'Oro obviously compromising their chances here because they were head and head throughout. That's them on the lead. Medaglia d'Oro at the rail. Congaree in the white cap. Set it up perfectly, though, for Pleasantly Perfect, and Alex Solis just riding like as well as ever this afternoon. Perfectly timed run, and he catches him those last few strides. Pleasantly Perfect, one of those horses. He's one notch below the very best, the brilliant, but if you set it up for him, he will come and run you down. A great finish to the Classic, and what a day for Richard Mandela and Alex Solis. Let's take it down to Mike.
Thanks, Trevor. Pleasantly Perfect springs the upset in the Classic. Dick Mandela, just an unbelievable job. 4 winners on the day, a couple for Alex Solis. The owner, Jerry Ford. Got Martin Sheen here from the West Wing, and representing Dodge, Julie Rame. And Julie, you're going to make the presentation. Martin's going to say a couple of things first. Martin, you said you didn't know a lot about horse racing, but let me tell you something. You really saw something this afternoon with Dick Mandela winning 4 races. Never happened before.
I understand that. Congratulations. It's wonderful.
Julie, up to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, on behalf of Dodge, we would like to award this trophy to you, and a great performance, and we like to think of it as a Hemi-powered performance. The horse with the most horsepower won today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Jerry? Thank you very much. Thank you. And first, we've got to talk to Dick Mandela. Dick, Tom Hammond called this one of the best training feats he had ever witnessed, getting a horse ready like this, coming back off the long layoff, winning the Goodwood, coming back 3 weeks later, and winning the Classic. And to win 3 other races, that's just an unbelievable day.
Richard Dreyfuss only thought he had a really good day.
I mean, it's just, what did you do with this horse to get him ready in the 3 weeks? It's
he's a really good horse. When he won the Goodwood last year, prepping for this race, he was awesome that day. And you got to remember, he's a maiden earlier in the year that year, you know, so he came a long way. The little rest helped him, came back. We had a little setback earlier in the year, and then he came with flying colors training through Del Mar, and the Goodwood and on was perfect. So.
You had a lot of horses enter today. You knew you could have a solid day. Did you have any kind of idea you could have a day like this?
No.
Not at all.
No. Never thought lightning could strike twice, but it struck harder.
It struck harder. Alex, again, 2 wins for you. Just a great job. This horse came flying at the end. You had Medaglia d'Oro and Congaree out there winging it. You ran them down.
Before anything, I like to dedico esta carrera a todos los países latinos, de mi parte, a Panamá, a mi padre, especialmente a mi tía Mireya, que te mejores.
Is this your son?
It's my son, Austin.
All right, Austin, congratulations.
Incredible day and incredible job at the boss here.
By all of them. Jerry, congratulations, Dick. Again, just a great day.
I'd like to say hi to my mom in Idaho.
You got it. All right. What a way to end the day with Pleasantly Perfect scoring the upset in the Classic, powered by Dodge.
All right, Mike, here's the official order. Finish. Pleasantly Perfect, Medaglia d'Oro, and Dynaver. Congaree held on to 4th. Then Hold That Tiger, Perfect Drift, in trouble in that first turn, but could manage only 6th, ending his chances to be Horse of the Year, one would think. Evening Attire, 10 Most Wanted, disappointing today. Funny Side beat 1 horse, and that was last year's winner, Vol Pony. Big day for Alex Solis, 2 wins, including V for victory in the Classic. Celebration still underway in the winner's circle after Pleasantly Perfect's victory in the Breeders' Cup Classic, ending a fantastic day for Richard Mandela. So it was an interesting day, a day of upsets, a day of surprises. Dick Mandela maybe will never equal that, although he's had some great days. And it probably means, with Pleasantly Perfect winning the Classic, that Mineshaft retired as Horse of the Year. What do you think?
I would have to think so. I mean, he was a dominant horse all year long. Unfortunately, he wasn't here due to injury, and I didn't see anything today that would uncrown him. So I'd say he's Horse of the Year.
And what about the champion 3-year-old colt? Empire Maker, Funny Side, 10 Most Wanted disappointed today. Who do you think? It might be Empire Maker.
Empire Maker, because Funny Side took a risk today by being here and was well beaten. So, yes, it might revert back now to Empire Maker, who actually beat him more often than if Funny Side beat him.
Well, one thing we decided for sure today, Half Bridle is the 2-year-old filly champion. Some of the others are still in doubt. But no doubt about the most exciting race of the day. That was the first dead heat for a win in Breeders' Cup history. It came in the turf. And Tom Durkin, it took forever for them to decide who had won. Both.
Well, the reason it took so long was modern technology. Like most racetracks here at Santa Anita, they've gone over to digital imaging for their photo finish process. Now, you can get a real quick image with that photo finish, but it comes up on a television screen. In cases of a dead heat, after they look at that image on the TV screen, if they're not absolutely sure, and for a $2 million race, you want to be absolutely sure, they make a print. So it takes a while to print out that digital image. Well, they got the first print. The 3 placing judges said, well, let's make double sure. They went to the 3 stewards. All 6 said, yeah, but let's be double sure. And they took another print. So 2 prints, but all 6 of them came out with the same judgment as to the final photo finish. In their words, it was a Rembrandt, a perfect dead heat.
It was beautiful indeed.
They call that progress?
Well, a day of surprises here at Santa Anita, the 20th Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships in the heat of Southern California. They came to Santa Anita for the 3rd time to contest the Breeders' Cup Championship Day. Adoration won the distaff. Pat Valenzuela celebrated a wire-to-wire victory. Julie Crone with a wink and a win as she took Half Bridle from the outside post. Applause for the champion filly. Jerry Bailey wondered about this. Perfections didn't want to go on the gate, but she sure did want to get home fast. In the sprint, Cajun Beat with the finish from off the pace to take the money. Islington probably will be champion turf mare after her victory in the filly and mare turf. Action This Day gets a kiss after a victory in the juvenile. And then the dead heat, Jahar and High Chaparral. Coming to the wire, Dick Mandela's prayers were answered with this official photo and Alex Solis for the celebration. And then the centerpiece of the day, the $4 Million Classic, and Pleasantly Perfect, the 4th of the day for trainer Richard Mandela, takes home the winner's share, 2nd win of the day for Alex Solis. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, it's the MSNBC special Thoroughbred Stable to Stardom. Coming up tonight, beginning at 8, 7 Central on NBC, back-to-back episodes of Whoopi, followed by Law & Order Criminal Intent and Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Now, for all of us here at NBC, this is Tom Hammond saying so long from the Breeders' Cup.
Biscuit and a dramatic race for the Triple Crown seemed to heighten interest in horse racing this year. And the Super Bowl of the sport wasn't even held until today. The Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships, 8 races with $14 million in prize money on the line, not to mention some prestige. Santa Anita Park for the 20th Breeders' Cup program. Julie Crone riding 2-to-1 favorite Half Bridled to the victory in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies race. Crone, the first female rider to win a Breeders' Cup race. She finished 3 lengths ahead of Ashado. 3rd place going to Victory USA.